91.7 WEEN. We welcome you here back to this episode of Inside the Playbook. I'm Zion Palmieri, joined here alongside
Michael Hooker.
Now, Michael, we're talking about NFL free agency. There's been some big moves this offseason, so let's jump straight into it. Going straight down the list that we got, who's up first?
Give me a second. I gotta get it pulled up.
I was getting mine pulled up.
Well, yeah, I was on the. Oh, sorry, I was looking at a different list. For us, we have the AFC East. We're going like AFC. We have each division lined out. First off, the Bills re-sign Josh Allen. Big re-signing. You need to sign him. 6 years. $330 million with $250 million guaranteed. That is huge. The reigning NFL MVP re-signs with his team, and that was a big re-signing. And then they also signed Joey Bosa to a one-year deal, $12.6 million with $12 million of it guaranteed.
I've decided I'm going to be really aggressive today. So Bosa washed.
He is. They also signed Josh Palmer, which
meh. You got three other Josh Palmers in your wide receiver room. You know what I mean? You're fine.
Yeah, the Bills didn't do anything crazy. Dolphins, backup quarterback Zach Wilson next.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how his career plays out. Just bouncing around teams. I thought he didn't play at all last year. He sat behind on the Broncos, so it's kind of sad. But, he plays like a backup quarterback. He's going to sit backup.
He deserves it. Next is your team. I'll let you speak on them. It's the Patriots. So
New England got Stephon Diggs. That was one of their biggest signings. Just happened the other day. I don't know if I like it. 3 years, $69 million. I'll take the money. They had the most money in all of free agency, and they're spending it, which is good. But I wanted Chris Godwin. I wanted a guy like that who's going to work hard. He went back to the Bucs. Stephon Diggs, he's been kind of toxic to his locker room in the past. He hates the Bills, which is fun. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. It's a wide receiver one, so we'll take it.
Yeah, especially if you have a young quarterback like Drake May. You need somebody like that. But you also upgraded your O-line, which was a big need. Morgan Moses coming in. That's huge. 3 years, $24 million for him. You also upgraded your D-line with Milton Williams off of a Super Bowl. Played great in the Super Bowl for the Eagles. 4 years, $104 million.
Biggest contract by any Patriot in all of history.
That does not surprise me with who you guys had in your front office. And then Carlton Davis from the Lions. He was solid for the Lions.
Hot take, Patriots best secondary in the league.
I'm gonna disagree, but that's for another time.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch though. They're gonna be not 3-16 or whatever. They're going to be a lot better this year. So I'm excited. I think they got some good signings, and a lot of teams. I think the Patriots splurged the most, but a lot of teams they were not hesitant to buy out a guy.
And I think that also the AFC East kind of upgraded themselves a little bit. Jets got a better quarterback. They have that college connection between Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson back because they signed Justin Fields to a 2-year, $40 million deal, $30 million guaranteed. So when he played for the Steelers, he looked solid. I don't know why he got benched. Maybe they wanted that experience with Russell Wilson, but their offense didn't look as good. So, him coming in, I feel like that'll be good for the Jets.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, but the Jets are just in a hole, and I think the only way they can dig themselves out is once they find that piece. Maybe it's Justin Fields. That's their green light. They can finally get back to cap even and then start winning. You know what I mean? They're in such a big hole. I like this. Justin Fields is a really good quarterback, and he's just been screwed with the teams he's gone. Yeah,
look if he played with the Bears. And then went to the Steelers. Steelers aren't bad. They had a winning record this year. He was 4-2 when he started. Had really good stats. But I guess Tomlin thought it'd be better to move on from him. Switching things over to the AFC North now. Ravens, not much done. Signed DeAndre Hopkins. Old, washed. Next. Bengals re-signed Jamar Chase. They also re-signed T. Higgins to a they franchise tagged him. As of right now, according to CBS, they franchise tagged him.
Correct.
But I know he did get a contract.
They franchise tagged him to get him to stay post, when he was going to be available to everyone else, and then they gave him a contract, which is wild to me.
Yeah. Well, apparently to them, their offense is the best defense. You could score 40 points a game, but you need a defense to stop the other team from scoring.
We saw that last year. It did not work.
Yeah.
They had scored super high points per game, and they were terrible. They had 5 wins.
Yeah, and then somehow Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins made it work, and Chase Brown too. He's a stud. They made it work. Steelers. DK Metcalf.
I wanted him too as a Patriots fan, but I'm okay we didn't get him.
I feel like it's kind of controversial.
Mm-hmm.
They have the two biggest divas of the sport in one wide receiver room. And I mean, if it works, it works.
Mm-hmm.
But you lost both your quarterbacks that you had last year.
So they gave up a second-round pick and then a later pick. And then he signed a 4-year, $132 million extension. That's a lot of money. I'm not surprised. DK deserves it. He's a very good receiver. Yeah. But only second-round pick and a late-round pick, you'll take that every day.
But also, they don't have a quarterback to throw to. Mason Rudolph, they re-sign him.
Yeah, maybe they trade up in the draft.
What do you do? Honestly,
this is not the draft class for that, in my opinion.
I mean, if you want to develop a young quarterback like Shador, Cam Ward,
they gave away Kenny
Actually,
Pickett.
I'd get Jalen Milroe. He's a physical specimen.
Yeah, Jalen Milroe is a talk for another day. We're talking about free agency. Let's go down the line. Talk about the AFC South. Texans signed Danielle Hunter and agreed to a huge contract with Derek Stingley.
That's an extension for Danielle.
Sorry. Yep, extension.
$35 million extension and 3-year, $90 million extension for Derek Stingley Jr. That is nuts.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Talking about Danielle Hunter, I would have said, it's kind of surprising. That's a lot of money. But he had 12 sacks last year. Played all.
Yeah, he had a great
year.
He
played 17 games. You kind of just a hidden light in the Texans. If he played a good year, he deserves his money.
Yeah, I mean, he's older, but and that's why he gave him a 1-year extension. He probably this might be his last year, but he was a great addition to that. They lost Jonathan Grenard to the Vikings, where Danielle Hunter came from, but in my opinion, they had one of the best edge rushing duos, if not the best in the league this year, with Will Anderson Jr. on the other side. So you got to keep it together, and you extend your star corner. That's a win-win. Colts, I don't even want to talk about the top guy. Skip over him. We paid him $14 million for 1 year, and he doesn't deserve it. It's Daniel Jones. He's
Danny Dimes.
Daniel Jones. We also signed Charvarius Ward. I'm so happy about that. And Cam Bynum. We needed secondary help. That's where the Colts struggled this year. I mean, you watched the Patriots game. The Colts struggled against them in the passing game. We struggled. We signed an all-pro corner. We signed an all-pro caliber safety. And guess what? We have a safety coming off of a high tackle year in Nick Cross. We have 2 linebackers who both had 100-plus tackles, and E.J. Speed and Zaire Franklin. Our defensive front is really good. We just added to the defense. So I think that's pretty good. That's the only moves that any AFC South team has made, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think Gabe Davis went to the Texans.
Yeah, I only put the pretty big ones on this list. No one really cares about Gabe Davis on the Texans. Get ready to rot in that wide receiver room. But let's talk about the Colts a little. What's going to put them over the edge? They've got Anthony Richardson at the helm. Their wide receiver room is getting it done, I'd say. Their defense is starting to get pieces added to it. What's next?
So we did lose a couple of linemen in the offseason as well. Will Fries, he went to the Vikings. I know that.
Good signing.
But we did. I think we lost one more as well. We lost a lineman to the. We lost our center and one of our guards to the Vikings. So that's just great. Ryan Kelly and Will Fries are both going to Minnesota to play there. So
just ship that whole O-line room up to Minnesota.
I'm going to say this. The Colts are known for building O-line. That's what you win in the trenches. That's how we won the Super Bowl. We had Dwight Freeney and like Robert Mathis, I think, as our D line room, and our O line had Jeff Saturday, like crazy O line. So you win in the trenches. So I could see, honestly, this is draft speculation. I could see them drafting an O lineman. That's where I think they go from here. They restock up front.
The running game has to regress when you lose line like that. But I mean, those are some big pieces. I don't know. It's going to be a rocky future for the Colts.
Ryan Kelly's old. Yeah. He wanted way too much money. We weren't going to pay it. Will Fries wanted way too much money. He wanted all-pro money. He is not an all-pro guard. Our all-pro guard is on the other side, and that's big 5'6", big Q, Quentin Nelson. He deserves that money, not you, Will. But let's move on to the AFC West before we get too carried away. Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga went to the Broncos. The 49ers have had such a rough free agency. They lost their safety, their corner, they lost a linebacker, they traded away their star wide receiver. They're not doing good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say bottom 5 of the league now. They didn't have a good year last year. They're always injured.
They're going to find a way to win.
Yeah, Okay, 8. They're gonna scrap up 500.
Ryan Lynch is gonna their GM Ryan Lynch is gonna find a way to win. He's gonna do it.
Hey, I'd love to see it. The rest of the people on that document, Michael, nothing crazy. Let's talk about the big ones. Josh Sweat went from the Eagles Super Bowl winning to the Cardinals, 4 years, $76 million. I hate that for him.
Why?
Why would you? Why? What's the draw to go into Arizona?
Because the problem was he was not going to get paid at Philly. They have too much that they need to stock with. He wasn't going to get the money. He basically he wasn't going to take that pay cut. So I don't blame him. Sam Darnold went to the Seahawks. That was pretty huge, coming off of a big year. Seahawks are taking a gamble on it. He could regress back to the Sam Darnold we all know and love.
3 years, $100 million is a lot to put a gamble on. I don't know about that one, but we'll see.
Yeah, Drew Dalman of the Falcons, the center, went to the Bears. Bears getting Caleb Williams some help. Could be a dark horse team next year. DJ Reed's going to the Lions. Javon Holland is leaving Miami, going to the Giants. So that's big.
One more. We're kind of running out of time here. Is there one more you see that really sticks out to you?
Mekhi Becton went to the Chargers from the Eagles. That's pretty big.
There's a lot of good re-signings. Chris Godwin, Zach Bond for the Eagles.
Bobby Wagner's going back to
That'll be
Washington.
fun. Kind of thought he was going to retire, but
Cowboys running game got worse. They lost their starter. He went from the Cowboys to the Panthers. That's hilarious. That's funny to me.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence left the Cowboys as well.
Yeah, that got
He
a
went to the
nasty.
Seahawks.
Yeah, I could see him tweeting with Michael Parsons, and they were mad at each other.
Yeah. Oh, Hassan Reddick left the Jets. He went to the Buccaneers.
Oh, that'll be fun. Buccaneers are going to be such a fun team. I hope Baker has so much success over there.
J.K. Dobbins still unsigned.
Yeah, well, who's left? Who's the unsigned people?
J.K. Dobbins.
Amari Cooper.
Justin Simmons.
Asante Samuel Jr.
Asante Samuel. Amari Cooper. Calais Campbell. Zach Martin retired.
Yeah.
Kazir White. E.J.
Tyron
Speed
Smith.
still unsigned. This is Keenan Allen.
It's going to be a fun season.
Jarek Willis. Mike Hilton. Brandon Schreff.
Treff? Isn't it Sheriff?
Schreff. Yeah, it's Schreff. Tyron Smith and Will Hernandez, and that's left. That's all that's left on the top 100.
Well, it's going to be a fun season. We're running out of time here, so we're going to get out of here. But who do you think had the best signing? One last thing.
I'm biased towards the Colts, but if I'm being honest, I think the best signing... Oh, dude, this is hard.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of good ones. I got to pick the Patriots. I think Milton Williams is going to do you well. Carlton Davis.
I still think the Colts. I mean, they upgraded what they needed to upgrade, and so I'm going to stick with that.
All right. Thanks for joining us. You're listening to ASN's Inside the Playbook.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Schuyler, and I'm the Assistant Operations Manager.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Cowan, and I am the Director of the Podcast Department.
My name is Aiden Wilson, and I'm in the Sports Department.
Hi, my name is Ada Brown, and I'm in the Social Media Department.
Hi, my name is Michael Hooker, and I'm in the Sports Department.
My name is Lena Johnson, and I'm in the Social Media Department.
Hi, my name is Layla Reef, and I'm the Social Media Director and Operations Manager.
I'm Jonathan Lambert, and I'm part of the Social Media Department.
Hi, I'm Zion Palmieri, and I'm the Director of the Sports Department.
Hi, my name is Sophia Bevan, and I'm in the Social Media Department.
I'm Luke Denniston, and I'm on the Social Media and Programming Departments.
Hi, I'm JC Robinette, and I'm the Director of the Programming Department.
Hi, I'm Xander Ohuria, and I'm in the Podcast Department.
I'm Elena Ihorn, and I'm part of the Social Media Department.
My name is Wesley Johnson, and I'm in the Podcast Department.
I'm Braden Oxeer, and I'm part of the Podcast Department.
Hi, my name is Callie Petty, and I'm in the Social Media Department.
Hi, my name is Liam Davis, and I'm in the Sports Department.
Hi, I'm Ethan Lincoln, and I'm a member of the Programming Department.
Hi, I'm Lacey Sneed, and I'm a part of the Social Media Department.
Hi, my name is Logan Roman, and I'm part of the Podcast Department.
Hi, my name is Lucas Williams, and I'm part of the Sports Department.
Hi, my name is Reagan Butler, and I work on the Programming Department.
.917 WEEM. Welcome here to this segment of the ASN Inside the Playbook. And we're back. We're back. Liam, you excited that we're back?
I'm very excited.
All right. Kind of an odd first episode here. I'm not going to lie. But we're going to be talking about MLB award predictions, MVP, Cy Young Award, Rookie of the Year, and who we think is going to win the World Series.
Yeah, I'm ready for this fun action. You know, I'm a big baseball guy. I know some people in the studio aren't baseball people, but I'm one of those people. I play baseball. I know a lot about baseball, so I'm glad to help.
Yeah. All right. So getting things started, we're going to go through the MVP. I have a list of my top 3. You list your top 3. This is National League. We're starting in the National League. So for me, I have Bobby Witt Jr., Aaron Judge, and Gunnar Henderson. Bobby Witt Jr. had 636 at-bats last year. These are all their last year stats. So he had 636 at-bats, 125 runs, 211 hits, 32 homers with 109 RBIs, 39 stolen bases, and a 3.32 average.
With my National League, I'm going to go with Shohei at number 1, Bobby Witt at number 2.
Shohei's American League.
Shohei's on the Dodgers. That's National League.
They're national?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, then I got it wrong.
And then surprise third pick, I'm picking Ellie De La Cruz. You know, he had a breakout year last year, and I think if he just does what he did last year, he can continue that this year. And Shohei Ohtani became the first player ever to have a 50-50 season, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. This was also one of his first years that he didn't pitch because he tore his UCL and got Tommy John surgery. But I think if he does pitch and he does what he did hitting, then I think he free MVP award again.
All right, so I accidentally read my American League. That was my American League 3.
Yeah.
So for my National League 3, I do agree with Shohei and Ellie De La Cruz. Ellie is a sleeper pick for me. 618 at-bats, 105 runs, 160 hits, 25 homers, 76 RBIs, 67 stolen bases.
He is one of the fastest players in the league. He's also a switch hitter, too.
Yeah, he is. And he's like 6'5".
Yeah.
He's a freak of nature.
His very first at-bat in the league, I think he hit the ball like 102, maybe.
Which is
his first hit. I think his first at-bat, he got walked. And then his second at-bat, he got his first hit and hit a double off the wall.
Yeah. He's a freak athlete. Ellie De La Cruz is a freak of nature. And then I also have Juan Soto.
I like that pick.
I have Juan Soto.
He did really good last year with the Yankees. The Yankees were actually his first pick for free agency.
Really?
Yeah, but he said that he doesn't think the Yankees have like the potential in 5 to 10 years to be what they were 2 years ago. So he went to the Mets. The Mets paid him a year longer, $5 million more, which with that deal, I'd take the Yankees. But the Mets have the potential to be good in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, and he wants to
be good on a good team.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a superstar on a bad team.
No. Okay, so next, Cy Young Award. For those who don't know, Cy Young is like the best pitcher. Who won it last year? I think Paul Skeens didn't win it last year.
No, it was Chris Sale for the National League, American League. It was the Tigers guy.
Cole Reagans?
No.
Jacob DeGrom.
Tarek
Skubal. All right. So for my top 3, obviously for American League, I have Tariq Skubal, and then Cole Reagans, and then Jacob DeGrom.
No, I haven't really heard much of Cole Reagans. I know he's a good young pitcher.
Yeah, he had 11 wins, 9 losses, a 3.14 ERA on 186.1 innings pitched and 223 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's a really young pitcher. But also Jacob DeGrom, if he stays healthy, he is really good. Like today's prime days when he was with the Mets. I mean,
yeah, he only had 10 innings pitched, but in those 10 innings, he had 14 strikeouts and a 1.69 ERA.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good when he's healthy, but he
just can't stay healthy.
Can't stay healthy with that elbow.
Yeah.
But for my side, that was National League, right?
That was American.
American League. For American League, I'm gonna take Garrett Crochet on my number 1. Let's see here. Tariq Skubal on my 2. I think if he just does what he did last year, he'll be great. Garrett Crochet, it's a little bit biased because he's on the Red Sox. I'm a Red Sox fan. But, I mean, he was still really good last year, and I watched him in spring training. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, spring training. No one cares about it, but he faced the starters on the Tigers, and the Tigers are going to be really good this year. And he went 5 shutout innings, and I mean, like 7 or 8 strikeouts. But for my third, this is tricky. I'd probably have to go. I was gonna say Garrett Cole, but he just tore his UCL and has to get Tommy John surgery from spring training. But I mean, there's just too many options. I'll probably just stick with those two, Garrett Crochet and Tariq Skubal, and then let third place battle it out.
All right. National. I just went with I'm not big on baseball. You should know this.
Yeah.
So I looked these up, but I think they're kind of good. Obviously, Chris Sale, he's on there. I have Paul Skeens as well. He's stud. He's a stud.
Yes.
And then I have Zach Wheeler as well.
Yeah, you could switch Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola on that Phillies roster. They're both really good for the Phillies.
Yeah.
Chris Sale, I mean, 2 years ago, he was battling off an elbow injury. I don't think it was a torn UCL. It was just an elbow injury. First game back, he broke his thumb trying to catch a ball, so he was out for the rest of the season. Gets traded to the Braves, has his best season on record with the Braves, and won the Cy Young. I think he can do that again this year. His pitches are really good. His velocity did go down a little bit, but his slider is one of the best pitches in the game. Paul Skeens, he has that little, people call it the splinker. It's like a sinker and a splitter. A splitter will it's like a changeup, but it doesn't move as much and it just drops. But it has the speed of a sinker, which is 95, 96.
That's wild.
So, and it's really hard to hit, especially with this 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He has a slurve and a slider.
I know. Yeah, I've seen. He comes up with some crazy pitches. Him and his pitching coach that he has.
Yeah.
His private one, not the team one, the private one. But
he's coming up with a new pitch too.
Yeah, I saw that on TikTok or Instagram. He's got another one.
Yeah.
And apparently this one's crazy, even better.
And then I'm going to have to go with Zach Wheeler also. I mean, he's just too good. Especially postseason Zach Wheeler. I think that is the best pitcher in the game.
Oh, yeah.
When all the lights are on him, Zach Wheeler is the guy to go to.
Yeah, definitely. Rookie of the year. Ready for that? I looked this up. I just went with the 5 with the highest odds because that's rookie of the year's. You're never gonna know. But for American League, they had Cam Smith, Christian Campbell, Jason Dominguez, Roman Anthony, and Jackson Jobe. I think that's how you say his last name.
Jackson Jobe.
Jobe, yeah. Cam Smith's odds are plus 450, and that leads rookies for American League.
Yeah, I mean, rookie of the year is such a hard topic because most rookies start in AA and AAA just to get the feel of pro ball.
Right.
But Cam Smith, he just got announced to the Angels opening day starting lineup, which is really good for a rookie. Roman Anthony, I know him really well because he's on the Red Sox. He will be on the roster. I don't think he will play though, because the Red Sox outfield is stacked with superstars, young superstars, and he's a center fielder. And our center fielder can hit the ball really well. And I mean, I don't think he'll win it because he won't play as much.
Right.
But he'll still be good. I think Cam Smith does have the best odds because he's on the Angels. The Angels don't have much players. He's going to start day one. I think he just has the best odds there. Jason Dominguez, he's really young for the Yankees. He's fat, one of the fastest players in the league. He has a good chance too. He did great in the minors last year. And I mean, I just think you can't beat someone that has power like him, that can run the bases like him, that can field like him. So I think it's going to be a battle for Cam Smith and Jason Dominguez.
Well, and it's interesting. Cam Smith's odds, and that's the best in the American League, are plus 450. He'd be 4th in the National League preseason odds.
Yeah, National League rookies are really stacked this year.
Yeah,
National League drafted really well.
Yeah, they have, for National League, the top 5 was Roki Sasaki, Dylan Cruz, Matt Shaw, and then Bubba Chandler and Jordan Lawler. They both are at like plus 1,000, plus 1,100.
Roki Sasaki has pro league, like he's
from overseas, isn't he?
He's from Japan. Japan is really, really good. The Cubs and Dodgers played overseas in Japan for the Seawolf series. The Dodgers played a game against Japan's like national team or something, and then the Cubs played a game, and the Cubs got killed by Japan. I mean, like I don't even think it was close. I'm pretty sure the Dodgers kept it close, but I think the Dodgers did win it. But like, there's so many Japan superstars that are just coming to the MLB. I think they should just like merge, but that'd be a lot of traveling because.
Well, I mean, Shohei's from Japan, right?
Shohei's from Japan.
Did he play for the Dodgers or for the national team?
He played for the Dodgers.
Right.
And then another Dodgers player is Yoshiniba Yamamoto. Really hard to pronounce his name, but he's a pitcher also. He's really good. And then Roki Sasaki, who's played in Japan. I think he has the best chance to win. Dylan Cruz, he's on the Nationals outfielder. He can hit the ball really well. He was on the LSU team with Paul Skeens that won the national championship. But I think it's going to be Roki Sasaki if he just does well.
Yeah. We are getting close on time, so we're just going to quickly go through the 3 teams with the best odds for winning the World Series. Obviously, it's going to be the LA Dodgers at 1, plus 275 odds this year. Atlanta Braves are second, actually, with plus 800. Wow. And then it's the Yankees in third with plus 850.
No, I think the Yankees should not be up there because they just lost their star pitcher and they lost a star outfielder.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers, I think they have a really good chance to break the single season win record.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing back their team from last year. They're bringing back their 3 main players, which are Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman.
If you go look at their roster,
it's so good.
Like, you would think that is the greatest team of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they should be the greatest team of all time. If you look at their starting rotation, that's filled with all-stars.
Yeah, it's insane.
And they still have like 4 starting pitchers that I think they're transitioning them into relief pitchers because they just have so many all-star pitchers.
Yeah, and Shohei,
it's insane.
And Shohei can pitch. Obviously he's coming off of Tommy John, but he can still pitch, which is crazy. But that is all the time we have. We hope you all enjoyed this segment of ASN Inside the Playbook, but we have another great one coming up next. I believe it is Zion and Lucas talking about IHSAA basketball tournament. So yeah, should be pretty interesting. But you're listening to ASN Inside the Playbook.
On all of the 91.7 WEEM social media pages, we post great content almost every day. So regardless of where you're seeing us now, you should make sure you can see us on any platform. We post awesome content like skits and funny videos, updates on our sports teams and their games, updates on stuff happening around the campus and community, and much more. We're 91.7 WEEM on all our socials, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. So don't be afraid to give us a follow.
91.7 WEEM. Welcome back to ASN's Inside the Playbook. I'm Zion Palmieri, joined here alongside
Lucas Williams.
Now, Lucas, you wanted to talk about the 4A, I guess all of A's, the playoffs for sectional boys basketball. Of course, we're 1 game away from the state championship, so take it away.
Yeah, so looking at the state championship matchups, of course, for 1A, you have the Clinton Prairie Gophers. They're 26-2 versus the 24-4 Orleans Bulldogs. Of course, they're playing at, I'm pretty sure, 10:30 in the morning, which is ridiculous. They're playing, of course, at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, so, of course, playing on the big floor. So, for 2A, of course, you have the 26-2 Manchester Squires versus the 20-9 University Trailblazers. So, I think the team with the worst record on here. And also for 3A, you have South Bend St. Joseph Huskies 26-3 versus the Indianapolis Crispus Attacks Tigers. Of course, they're 22-6. And for 4A, which kind of matters for us the most, is the undefeated Fishers Tigers. Of course, 30-0 versus Jefferson Red Devils, which are 23-6.
Yeah, that's a tough slate. All those teams very good, very well deserving of the state championships. Are they all going to be on the same day?
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense about that 10 a.m. matchup. That's brutal. That's awful for a team.
Not Now that you're mentioning it, why? Why all on the same day? Just all on a Saturday. You're like, yeah.
Probably money, you know? Like, you got to get.
Yeah.
But doesn't the Pacers and Fever, like sponsor the tournament? So maybe they just give them a day and say, this is your day, figure it out.
Yeah, you get this day.
Yeah.
Hey, that Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's brutal, though. We'll talk about 1A first. You mentioned New Orleans. The Orleans Bulldogs are on an 18-game win streak. Should be a very good game. It's crazy to me that these teams have gone, like Fisher's 30-0. The 1A Prairie Gophers, which is a funny name, they've only got 2 losses. That is wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited to see what 1A is going to do. Just because, like, I want to see what a really good team that comes from, like, a small school looks like compared to, like, a good team from 4A.
We probably shouldn't say this, but who's winning Pendleton Heights versus the winner of this game?
Probably not Pendleton. They did not. I mean,
I'd give them a fair chance.
We're going from, making it to state to we lost first round at sectionals.
Yeah, well, okay. Well,
I mean,
I don't know. I think you got to give them a fair shot because, like, for the girls' team, they beat undefeated at the time Alexandria Tigers. They were 2A. Yeah. There's a big gap.
Yeah, but I mean,
big.
Alexandria is still good though.
Yeah, I know. It's girls too. This is a whole different sort of thing.
Yeah, that's another thing.
But that's the 1A ACA championship. We know the best 4A, so we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Fisher's 43-game win streak.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm looking at Fisher's, right, and I'm like, I wanted to know a little bit more about the team. So I wanted it to kind of be Greenfield Central versus Fishers. I feel like that would be a crazy matchup, just also because they're so local. Also because, Mount Vernon, they ended up beating Greenfield Central in sectional championship, which is ridiculous.
Hold up, Lucas. We got a scoregami. According to John Harrell, that's a scoregami in the last 20 years in the tournament. That score was the first time it's ever happened. The score was 83-76.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun fact.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I remember opening up my phone to seeing Mount Vernon win this game. Well, first I opened up my phone and saw they beat Anderson. And I was like,
which is
what?
Yeah.
I mean, Mount Vernon's a good team. I didn't know they were that good. I didn't know they.
That's exactly what my aunt said.
Yeah, they made quite the run for themselves, and then they beat Greenfield Central, which was like, what? What happened?
Yeah, crazy though.
Yeah,
I mean, Mount Vernon went on an absolutely ridiculous one. Ended up winning in regionals too, beating Brownsburg. But then, of course, they lost to Jeffersonville. But they're competing for state, so ended up finishing it out with 21-6. So one of their best records, and one of their best performances in recent years. Of course, they did go 22-3 a few years ago, but they did lose in the regionals. So making semi-state is very impressive.
Yeah. Shout out Mr. Watson. He was telling me the reason the conference, the Hoosier Heritage Conference, is the best. New Powell made it to semi-state. Mount Vernon made it to semi-state regionals.
Mount Vernon made it to semi-state.
Did they? Okay, yeah. They made semi-state. Sorry, losing my trail here. They made it to semi-state. Delta made it to regionals. I mean, so many teams just making a far run. I mean, if Greenfield Central doesn't take, I can't say this anymore. I was going to say if they don't take on Mount Vernon, they've got a far run. But if Mount Vernon was able to shut them down, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I expected Greenfield Central to go to semi-state, not Mount Vernon. And I mean, if they beat Mount Vernon, I feel like Greenfield Central could make it to state.
Yeah, I think there was just some small problems on that team they couldn't nail down.
Yeah, and that's really the main thing is Fishers. If that was like Fishers versus Greenfield Central, Fishers has so many different players, and they have such a depth in their roster compared to Greenfield Central that they have Braylon. They have Michael Johnson. He's averaging 14. They have Dallas Freeman. He's averaging 7. But other than that, they just don't really have that much help. And that's really what it comes down to is, it's a team sport. You have 5 people on there. If you lock down that one player who's, averaging all the points, then you're done for.
Yeah, so before the tournament, Fishers had a 37% chance to win state, according to John Harrell. Greenfield Central had a 4.7. Above them is Lawrence North. They got knocked out pretty late in the tournament. I mean, those are relatively high. 37 is insane. I mean, no one's going to come close to that. The Gary 21st Century, which was knocked out. I mean, it's a different conference. That's 2A. They were knocked out in semi-state. But, like, the highest chance to win the tournament, wild.
Yeah, and speaking of 2A, the Manchester Squires, they beat probably one of the funniest names I've heard, the Jimtown Jimmies in semi-state.
That's fun. Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah, they're weird. I'm kind of liking the Prairie Dog. I've never heard of the Prairie Dogs before. I don't know. It sounds fun.
I mean, Jimtown Jimmies is just ridiculous. But also taking on a 3A, which we haven't talked about yet, but South Bend St. Joseph, they made a little bit of history. They won in semi-state 115 to 81.
Ooh, that is,
which is a semi-state record for most combined points.
You said South Bend, Washington?
South Bend St. Joseph.
South Bend St. Joseph. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So many records set this year. It's been a crazy year for high school basketball. I was just about to say,
and that's the thing about Indiana basketball. It's ridiculous. You gotta love it.
Yeah, they don't do it like here anywhere else. To my knowledge, I don't know. I've never grown up anywhere else, but like they don't do it like they do here.
Hey, they don't have the biggest gyms in the world.
I know. You know how many gyms we've gone to that are like record-setting gyms? It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Newcastle last month.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous. I mean, you walk in, you're like, whoa. There's no one else. There's nowhere else like it.
I was just checking. That's why I've been like bouncing back and forth to the computer. South Bend St. Joseph, that is also a scoregami. That you kind of have to at that point. 115 to 81. Wild.
Oh yeah, now I'm thinking about it. If it is a record, then I mean, you kind of got to get it.
Yeah. But let's take a look back at that 4A slate. I looked up the odds for Greenfield or for Fishers to beat Jefferson, and in the state matchup, Fishers has an 82.2% chance of winning.
Yeah.
You gotta, like, we were talking about this game because it will be the game will have happened by the time the episode comes out, so I guess you can look up the winner. It's gonna be Fishers. You gotta pick Fishers.
I mean, unless Jefferson makes something crazy happen, then
they need a miracle. They need a miracle. It's 82.16%. Come on.
The guys, like 82 is. I mean, that's not even like what was it? The Georgia versus like TCU in the national championship. That's what it's like.
Yeah, exactly. What was the score of that game? That was crazy.
It's like 66-3.
But like opening the tournament, Fishers 36% to win it. Crazy number one. Okay. South Bend St. Joseph and against Indiana Tux. That's the 3A battle. 45-54%. That's pretty even. That's a pretty close line. 2A, 76-23. Not as crazy as the 4A one, but still, that's way down. You wouldn't expect that in a state round. Usually the teams that have been there, they've grinded out their season. They've earned that spot. We kind of got some Cinderellas here today.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hey, Cinderella story. I'll take that.
Everyone likes a Cinderella story, right?
Absolutely.
Who are we rooting for?
In what?
The 4A section, 4A. The 4A one. We talk about the 4A because that's where Pendleton Heights is, and that's what we know best.
I mean, there's no point in rooting for Jeffersonville. Sorry to mention it, but like, I mean, I would love to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I like the story of Fishers because like 44 games straight would be crazy. But I also kind of want the underdog, so I don't know. It'll be a great game though.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go through each one, you think?
Oh, do that really quickly because we're running out of time.
Okay. I'll go with the Gophers. Gophers, Squires. I feel like just 20-9. I feel like winning a
Gophers are the underdog by the John Harrell rankings.
Oh. Huh. And then probably the Huskies for 3A. I mean, they just made history.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty nice to see them.
Yeah, they're also the underdog. But that would be really cool. I mean, you're riding. So the team morale is going to be through the roof. That'll about wrap it up for this segment. It was a pretty good segment. Lucas, I wanted to do something about NFL. You were like jumped in, wanted to do this. Great segment idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about to end right here as, state's about to happen. Of course, You can look up the scores. So we'll see if maybe I made the predictions right.
Yeah, well, stay tuned. Thanks for listening to ASN's Inside the Playbook. You're listening to 91.7 WEEM.